How is it going, everybody? It is Sean, or the Armchair Coach. Welcome to Season 2 of trying to fix the New Orleans Pelicans here while letting the Chaos Wheel decide every single move we make. Last season, we had quite a few things happen that were interesting at the very least. We had to let go of Zion Williamson. We ended up cutting him with like 20 games left in the season. That was really tough. Really was thinking he was going to end up signing to somewhere else. However, the nice thing is that everybody in the modern NBA is so goddamn broke that if Zion Williamson hit free agency in the 2K universe, he would be homeless because no one could sign him with the amount of money he'd be asking for. So luckily for us, he was available in free agency for us to bring back home. And the rest of the lineup hasn't changed a whole lot. Last year, we weren't able to make a lot of trades that involved us making the roster better. It was just acquiring a bunch of like mid-talent, old people, and then eventually trading away or giving up Zion by releasing him. This year, though, we do have Rui Hachimura on the roster, and the talent that we did have last year has gotten better over the offseason. We are now at the beginning of a fresh second season where we will have to, once again, let the Chaos Wheel decide every single thing that we do. This can be trades. This can be releasing our best player like we had to do last season. This can be a lot of things. I will pull this Chaos Wheel up here because we have to spin this wheel before we can even start this season. Before you on the screen lies the Chaos Wheel. We have 22 effects on this. We have been adding to it little by little with each video that I release with this. And for you watching this video right now who might be about to click off, before you do, please leave a comment below what you think we should add to the wheel. You can kind of see over to the right side what the effects we have on the wheel are currently, but we are always looking to add more. And while you're down there in the comment section viciously writing whatever you think we should add, please go ahead and click that subscribe button and the like button as well. Help my channel grow, reach more people so I can make these videos even better. As we will go ahead and shuffle this wheel up, we want to make sure that we have this nice and randomized. Don't want to end up having a bunch of the same effects over and over, although I keep spinning or shuffling it and ending up with the same effects anyway, as this cannot be happening. This cannot be happening. Every video, I feel like when we do this Chaos Wheel, it hurts. It hurts. I am, okay, well, it would appear that Zion Williamson, who we literally just brought back, we literally just got him back in the doors. He's gonna come in, grab his stuff, or put his stuff down, pick it right back up, and walk back out the door here, as we will see which team we are trading him to. Yes, that's right, we don't even have control over what team we get to trade him to. The wheel will decide what team he will be traded to here, as it looks like Zion is going to join Cooper Flag in Dallas. Or maybe we can pull off a trade for Cooper Flag here. But I'm going to go ahead and get into the trade finder and see what we can pull up here with Dallas, and then I will be back with you. Okay, so this is the offer that Dallas is giving us off the bat. It's Michael Porter Jr. and oh my God, why is he looking at me like that? That's horrific. So, AJ Johnson here, who's in his second year, I guess he's in his third year now. He's a 76 overall. I mean, I don't think he's got any sort of value. I mean, and I'm already not happy with Michael Porter Jr. being the main trade piece. And he's only got B potential, and like that's just not doing it for me. I'm really curious to see here if I hate having to do this if I remove the trade assets, but I'm curious to see here. So we can't make that money work. We'd have to put another 19 million off for them. So it'd have to be like Cooper Flag and like a PJ Washington. And yeah, Cooper Flag's untouchable. So it really is going to be like Michael Porter Jr. is the main piece of this trade, which fucking pisses me off, dude. He's not... It's just great. He's also wanting to test free agency, which means he probably won't stick around after this season. So we're essentially renting a player And the only way I'm going to have to end up asking for a bunch of picks here, like at least 2 firsts. And they want my pick this year. No, I'm not giving up a pick this year. Why does everyone want to take picks like this current year from me, bro? You guys don't even have a pick this year. That's your problem, not mine. Don't make it my problem. You guys can have a pick like 4 years from now. Oh, you like what you have as far as this trade is concerned? Oh, I'm going to shove my fist down your throat. You guys are just like the Wizards in my Bulls video, dude. You guys are getting Zion alongside of your young superstar, and you guys are really going to bitch about me asking for a couple firsts in return? Be so for real. All right, well, I will get less selfish and ask for a later first. Okay, we're getting better. They want a second. That's fine. You can take a second, and I once again will give you the 31 first with no protections. Stop. Okay, this is getting insane. This is what I hate. It starts as something simple, and then they're just like, what if we turn this into a blockbuster, like right now? I mean, I understand I'm asking for a couple picks, but once again, you are getting Zion, who at his peak can play insane basketball, and they are just complaining about it. All right, I'm going to do some more brainstorming and try to get a deal on the screen that I don't fucking hate from the Mavericks, which I'm sure I'm going to have an impossible time doing, because any deal that involves me acquiring Michael Porter Jr. in exchange for Zion is just not going to make me happy. So I will return very soon. Okay, so I'm interested to see if they'll do this with just a pick swap. Okay, so this is what we're going to end up doing here. So we will trade away Zion Williamson for Michael Porter Jr. here. We'll acquire, or we'll give away a couple second-round picks and a first-round pick swap in 2031, so like 4 years from now, so who gives a shit about that, really? And then 2029 first-round Lakers pick will come to us in return. And I think that ends up being a decent deal. And I will fix up the roster and rotation now, and maybe some other things that involve me not being alive. But I will return soon. Okay, so here is the rotation to start this season. We've let Jeremiah Fears take over here at point guard because he did step up a lot, and I really think he can run the offense effectively here. And DeJounte Murray has taken over as the primary scorer, really. Even last season, he was putting up good scoring numbers, 23 points a game, 6 and 6. So I think moving him over here to shooting guard here will allow him to just continue to focus on his shooting and scoring the basketball. And Michael Porter Jr. here will now slot in at small forward, and Derek Queen's going to run the power forward, and Marvin Bagley will end up being our center. So that's definitely our weakest spot, but we really don't have anybody else who can play. I mean, we have Yves Missi here. I mean, I guess technically he should be starting. I don't know why Marvin Bagley would be in the starting lineup. I mean, Yves Missi's got decent size for a center, and he's better. So 2K doing 2K things, but I mean, he will get himself 13 minutes down here towards the bottom of the bench. But, I mean, our bench rotation, I think, is really solid as well. We've got Sadiq Bey as our sixth man, Rui, Marvin, and then Bones Highland is our point guard off the bench. And then we've got a lot of talent that's just not getting any minutes. Obviously, we brought in A.J. Johnson as part of that Zion deal. And everybody else here is, I mean, able to be a contributor, I think. We just don't have the minutes. But we have now spun the chaos wheel, and it becomes time to spin the games wheel to see how long until the next spin. Our games wheel is on the screen. Of course, just like our chaos wheel, we'll give this a spin to make sure we have as random of a result as possible, as we will now give it a spin and see that we will have a 17, maybe? No, it's looking like 19. This wheel loves to land on the borders, and let me tell you, that's real exciting when you're on the border of something really good and really bad. So 19 games that we will sim, and then I will check back in with you when we have simmed them. Okay, so it hasn't even been 3 games, guys, and as I will come over here and look in the roster, you'll notice that somebody here is missing that was here before, and that's because Yves Missi tore his ACL 3 games into the season, and he is done for the year. I love it here. Everything is fine, and nothing could possibly change my mind about that. But anyway, I'm going to keep simming here. Marvin Bagley is going to pick up those minutes, and then Malik Beasley will end up getting himself some minutes as we will go ahead and sim another 16 games, and then I will return with an update. It would appear that I may have simmed one too many games. Please forgive me here, as we are 11-9, so that means we've played 20 games. I don't know how to count, apparently, in my old age. I guess that's the first thing that goes, is rudimentary counting. But 19 games or 20 games have passed, and it is time for us to spin the wheel again. Outside of the chaos wheel, we've already been hurt, so what have you got for us this time? I mean, Yves Missi tearing his ACL that quickly reminds me of when Gordon Hayward tore or snapped his leg in the first game of that Celtics season that he joined them, as we will have to swap our center and point guard. So Marvin Bagley, who just cracked the starting lineup with Yves Missi going on to I guess you would call it injured reserve. And I mean, there's no injured reserve in basketball. I don't think so anyway. But anyway, Marvin Bagley is going to be playing some point guard, and Jeremiah Fears is going to be playing some center minutes. So that'll be very interesting. So let's go ahead and spin this games wheel here and see how many games that'll be for. A long period of time where that's happening might not be beneficial, considering that we've already had a rough start to the season, I would say, as 7 games is very agreeable. I was kind of clenching the cheeks there as we were getting closer to 19. So I will go ahead and swap those guys and show that we've switched them around, and then I will sim 7 games. Okay, so we are here in the coaching minutes here, and you can see that Jeremiah Fears here is going to be playing some center, and Marvin Bagley is going to be running some point guard for us for 7 games here. So I will count those out and count them correctly this time, and then I will reunite with you in 7 games. Okay, 7 games have passed here, and as you can see, it has not gone well. It has not gone well in the slightest, I would say, as we have lost, I think, yeah, 6 of the 7 games. We've lost 6 of 7 here, as we will now swap our players back here, but we'll take a look at the box scores here in a second, because I will be very intrigued to see what ends up happening in these games. Let's see. I mean, Jeremiah Fears still putting up a good performance. Marvin Bagley, 4 points, 11 rebounds, and 1 assist. Let's go here. Yeah, I mean, Jeremiah Fears, 19, 8, and 3. Okay, he was doing some big work there, big center work. And then Marvin Bagley, 21, 11, and no assists. So, I mean, I'm assuming they end up playing probably, like, towards their natural positions anyway. But I don't know. I think that'd be more interesting if we were playing all of the games. But either way, it just looked like it affected our ability to win basketball games here, as we are 12-15 here, as we will spin the wheel and see what we are doing now. Definitely a tough start to year 2. Had a lot of potential, as we are going to be playing our starters for 20 minutes. So we just got away from having a swap of our center and point guard, and now we get to play our starters for a whole 20 minutes. Oh, man. So we will go ahead and adjust that, as you will see the craziest minutes alignment here in just a second. First things first, though, I do want to go ahead and spin the wheel here. How many games are we going to be stuck playing our starters for 20 minutes? Is it going to be another 7-game stretch? Okay, so at least it's not super long, and we can adjust our lineup now, and I will be right back. Okay, so here is the rotation here, and this is going to be pretty bad news, because we don't have another center. So you can see there our center minutes are 20, as Marvin Bagley's our only center, although we do have guys that can probably fill that spot, maybe. I mean, maybe not. Oh boy. we're just gonna roll with it. We're gonna not think about it too much. Derek Queen theoretically could play some center, but you know, it's just not gonna be great. 7 games are gonna go by here, and I'm sure we're gonna be looking at a lot of losses here. So I will reunite with you very soon. Okay, another 7 games have gone by, and we had 2 games against the Jazz that we managed to win. So take that with a grain of salt, I guess. But we did manage to win this game here against the Rockets, as DeJounte Murray was putting up a crazy game. despite only being able to play a very limited amount of minutes. And obviously, the rotation doesn't necessarily work out like this, but I mean, oh man, Sadiq Bey, 2 of 10 from the field, brother. Just throwing bricks up. Throwing them up there. Okay, so we are not looking too hot here as we are 15 and 19 at our next spin point. We could really use something that would, like a trade option or something that lets us make the team a little bit better, but we will see what the wheel decides we are doing next. Let's give her a spin. Will it land on something beneficial for us finally, as there's no way that we're going to go from playing 20 minutes to 40 minutes as we are okay, well, you know, I talk shit, and then the universe listens, clearly. So I'm going to have to now try to attempt to trade for a team's best player here. And let's see which best player we are acquiring, as we will take a spin of the wheel here. And who is it going to be? Is it going to be Anthony Edwards? Oh, it's going to be the Grizzlies. Okay. I don't know who the Grizzlies have at this point. They traded away Ja this offseason, although this might be, I did finally find a 20 or an updated roster for next season that I do like. So the next Modern Era Chaos video we will do will be in with that modern roster. I know 2K27 is coming out. I'm considering getting it. I do have a bunch of Steam funds that I can use, selling some old CS skins. If you don't know about like Counter-Strike in the CS market, it has made such a huge boom that like skins that I bought for my guns back in 2020, 2021, back when I was in college, are worth like double what they were. So I have quite a few that I can sell off, get myself some Steam funds, and get 2K27 so we can start filming some content on that when it comes out. Anyway, but we might have to acquire Ja here, because Ja might be on that roster since we aren't using the updated roster. So wouldn't you know it, it is indeed Ja Morant who is the best player on the Memphis Grizzlies. Can we make a move to acquire him? Is there a deal they're willing to take? This is an insane offer, I feel like. Derek Queen for Gigi Jackson, and they'll give us Ja for DeJounte Murray. Oh my God. That's a deal I mean, Gigi Jackson, the thing about Gigi Jackson is I'm pretty sure his potential's capped out pretty low. He's got B potential, whereas Derek Queen, if you look at his potential, he's got A potential. So we are effectively trading down at the power forward position, but we're also getting a younger, more talented point guard. Now, we could try to get a slight bit greedy here. Maybe go for a first-round pick next year. Okay, this is... Okay, I regret it. All right, I'm sorry I asked. All right? Damn. I mean, they're giving us, what, DeAnthony Melton, and I have to give up the only healthy center on my roster. I'm going to pass on that. Okay, well, I mean, I think maybe if we continue... I mean, they've got so many firsts. Maybe just throw me a super late first. Okay, Jordan Miller and a pick swap. Do we have another pick in that season? We do. It's the Lakers pick. We have 2 picks in that season. We actually already have a Grizzlies pick from 2029, apparently. We have 3 picks in that year. And we could give up a 4th to get a later first and another player. I mean, Jordan Miller, is he a shooting guard? He's a small forward / shooting guard. And Anthony Melton... It's like so much of this is like whatever, really, but I'm almost tempted to just take the offer straight up. And I think that's essentially what we're going to do here. So I'm going to refresh the trade, because if you know how 2K works, you know it loves to do that stupid thing where if you edit any component of the trade... I don't know what happened there. If you edit any component of the trade while you're trying to work out a deal, the original deal that they sent you that they were all fine and dandy with before, all of a sudden they hate it. They don't want to do it. They think you're the stupidest person in the world for asking them to make that trade. But we will make this trade. So Ja Morant, who is a Portland Trailblazer now in real life, is going to come here to New Orleans. and we will fix up our minutes and roster here, and I will be back with you when we have it all set up. We have adjusted our roster here. As you can see, Ja Morant is a New Orleans Hornet. Jeez, I'm so used to playing in the old eras that I'm not used to saying Pelicans.
The New Orleans Pelicans. Yes, the New Orleans Pelicans.
He is a New Orleans Pelican, and he is going to lead our offense at the point guard position. You remember what I said about Jeremiah Fears at the beginning of the video about him being the point guard? I lied. He's going to play shooting guard for us, as Michael Porter Jr. is still going to hold down that role. We'll bring in Rui at the power forward. I like the proponent of him starting with his shooting ability over GG Jackson. I know that he is a great shooter in his own right, but Rui I think is a little bit more consistent, and he's not a bad defender either. So we will allow Rui to get himself some starting minutes here, and we'll let the rest of the rotation look as it is currently. As, I mean, maybe Malik Beasley should get some minutes since he's not complaining. You will notice that everyone's a little bit unhappy, especially Saddiq Bey here. Saddiq Bey has been pissed off the last 2 years, and I cannot wait to get him off my roster. I really hope that I can find a way to trade him because, as you can see, he's got some roster angst. That's just a funny thing to talk about here. He's got angst about our roster. But he's pissed off about everything. Nothing makes this guy happy. I mean, look at his picture. The dude just looks like he is constantly unhappy. But we will hope that we can find a deal instead of having to let him walk. He says that he doesn't want to re-sign after this season, so fuck him. We don't need you. So we're going to spin the games wheel and see how many games we will sim for now. I mean, no hate to actual Saddiq Bey, but, you know, 2K Saddiq Bey is a little bitch, as 19 games will pass until our next spin. So we will get a long look here at how our new and improved Pelicans with Ja at the helm will perform. Hopefully it's quite a gun shot. I don't know. I was trying to make a gun pun for Ja, but, you know, there's just nothing there. As I will be back with you in 19 games. Okay, so we have reached another 19 games here, and as you can see, it has not gone all that well. When we are performing well, we are performing well as we beat the dog shit out of the Grizzlies. Ja had a revenge game of all revenge games, putting up a 40 bomb almost with 11 assists. It's a little bit concerning how poor basketball we are playing here. I mean, we got our asses handed to us by the Pelicans here, as Marvin Bagley is just not performing well, it would appear, at that center spot. And that might be what we're missing. I mean, looking at the coaching game plan here, do I still have everything set up? Yeah, everything's set up for us to play the way that we prefer to play. So things are just not kind of shaping out the way that we were hoping here. And that's just the way the wheel goes. Speaking of, it's time to spin her again. So we have a pretty good roster here. I just think that they need more time to mesh together and have some solid basketball. But we will give it a spin and see what it is that we have to accomplish this time. So we'll give this another shuffler up, give her a good old randomizer, and we will spin and see what we are achieving this time. We are going to trade away a young player for an unk. Okay, so let's see what unk we are bringing to New Orleans. You know how them unks love a good old Mardi Gras. Well, we can have a Mardi Gras every day here with whoever we bring in from the, is it the Cleveland Cavs? Oh, imagine if I bring in James Harden. Is he still on that roster? I guess we'll find out here real soon. Okay, so we've looked at the Cavs roster. They don't have Harden anymore. I think Harden retired, actually. But looking at the Cavs, their oldest player in I could trade for Dennis Schroeder again. That's definitely an unk, but his contract's much worse than if we took on Vooch, who's 36, and I think we can. Wow, that deal is horrid. Vooch and Sam Merrill for Saddiq Bey and Jordan Goodwin. Yeah, you're smoking crack if you think that's equal value. No, I'm not giving up Marvin Bagley. The whole point is to keep him. The problem is who would we consider our young guys, right? 25 and under. So we've got AJ Johnson here, that piece we just acquired. That might be someone we can throw in there. GG Jackson and Yves Missi are really our only guys under 25, and that's a problem. That might make this deal a little bit more complicated. But we can also throw in, I don't hate the idea of throwing Sadiq Bey. I would want some better returning assets if that's the case. So we're going to put Vooch in here, and I think the main piece will be Sadiq Bey. He's unhappy. He wants to leave anyway. And then they were fine. They wanted to give us, Sam Merrill, who wouldn't play any minutes for us. He's a decent shooter if he ever got onto the floor, but it makes the money work. And then I want to see, because A.J. Johnson's the young guy we're throwing in as part of this deal. And then I want this pick. Okay, so they don't want to consider this because they're losing too much at the center position. So, okay. We'll go back to the drawing board here. I mean, we could try to acquire Donovan Mitchell, but his money is just ridiculous. He's making $50 million a year. I don't want to get into paying $50 million a year for him. We could try to get like a Max Strus. Max Strus is a decent shooter, might not be bad to have off the bench, and he's a rental, but he is making a lot of money. Baylor Shireman is in Cleveland now. They've got a couple of like decent. I mean, maybe we go after Sam Merrill as the unk here, and we just... Okay, so how much is it? We need to give up another $3 million to make this work. I mean, Bones Highland is making $4 million. Okay, this is getting annoying. They have too many players, so I'd have to acquire another player, and then it becomes a cascade of not able to happen. Oh my goodness. I love when this happens. It's just like something that this is like one of those cases where this should be super simple, and it's going to end up being anything but because of the way the money is on the Cavs. So I'm going to have to do some real brainstorming here, and I will return to you in a second. Okay. Before you come for my throat, I'm just seeing if this goes through. I have a suspicion that it's not going to, but Jeremiah Fears is a young guy. Donovan Mitchell is over 30 at this point. And, I mean, Michael Porter Jr. is just another piece we have to throw in to make this trade work. He's not going to re-sign here after this season, so... I mean, there's no point in trying to hold on to him if we can make a deal that we can use him in. So we're going to throw this trade out and see what happens. And, of course, they have no interest in that, unfortunately. So, I mean, Jesus, man. Why does it always have to be teams where the objective is, like, borderline impossible? I can't... I mean... Schroeder's just so expensive. I don't know how we make that deal work with a young guy, because we would take on way too much cap. I mean, I'd really love to get off of Jordan Poole's contract. You know what? His contract is literally making half of this impossible, because it's taking up so much of our salary that we have nobody else that we can afford to give up, because our third shooting guard's making $34 million a year. I'd love to be able to find a deal to get him off of the roster, but I can't trade him unless the wheel tells me I can, or unless we find a deal that involves him here. But I mean, what player on the Cavs can I find to make $30 million work? Like, do I throw Max Strus and then Dennis Schroeder, and then we give up Jordan Goodwin as well? Oh my God, they're actually interested, and they're gonna give us a third unk. Oh my God, this is getting horrific. However, I mean, we're not dumping salary, because we're essentially swapping salary and then giving up another player. I mean, no, I don't want to give up a first. I will give you a 2031 second, and they fuck off. You are not getting Bones Highland from me. Oh my God, why are teams like this? This is, oh my God, dude. It's like they don't even throw back offers that are decent. They throw you back the stupidest shit you've ever seen and are like, you definitely want this, right? I'm about to just throw them one of these 3 first-round picks that we have in 2039 or 2029 to get them to go away. I'll give them this 76ers Clippers pick. Sure, Jesus Christ, dude. Just get out of my face, Cleveland. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Oh, I'm so glad you didn't get LeBron. Struggle to be relevant for another, like, 10 years because you guys suck. Sorry, I'm going to fix the roster now, and I will be back with you. So, as you can see, nothing's going to change. All of these unks that we ended up acquiring just kind of fill out the bottom end of our roster here. But we do manage to get off of one, like, massive contract and kind of free up the ability to let some of these guys go. We're obviously going to lose Michael Porter Jr. in the offseason, which means that we will have that salary back. We're going to let Saddiq Bey walk because we have no other choice but to let him walk. We can't re-sign Max Strus, and there's a couple of other guys here that, as you can see, we only have about 1 year or so left on their deal, like all of these guys down here. So we can happily let those guys walk, as we will move on to the next time or the next spin point of our wheel. Oh, sorry for the end of that sequence. Someone was doing some stuff outside that was distracting me, and my brain is melting from trying to make that deal happen. Once again, just like with the Wizards trade in the Bulls video, it's just sometimes the teams make it so difficult to get stuff done, as we will sim an entire game before we reconvene. So be right back. Okay, and an entire 1 game has passed, and we've managed to win that game, as Jeremiah Fears had a pretty solid performance, Ja having 17, 9, and 9. You know, I don't know how we make the roster better from this point necessarily, but I guess the wheel decides for us anyway, so I don't know why I'm bothering to theorize. Man, imagine if, like, your whole life was decided by a wheel. You just woke up in the morning and you spun a wheel to see what you're going to do that day, as we are going to be executing a blockbuster trade. Okay. And who are we executing this blockbuster trade here? Let's give this a spin. Imagine if we land back on the Grizzlies and we make a blockbuster to reacquire DeJounte Murray, as it is going to land on the Minnesota Timberwolves. So we will be right back when I figure out what a blockbuster with the T-Wolves looks like. So I'm here looking at the trade finder to try to find a trade here, and I would say that this would be a pretty big trade. Jaden McDaniels and Naz Reid for Saddiq Bey and Michael Porter Jr. Hey, both of the guys that didn't want to re-sign with us, we could now move off of our roster, and we could get 2 guys here who are re-signed for 3 years and arguably are younger and more talented. Maybe not so much at the center position, but I definitely think this is a deal we're interested in making here. And of course, you know me, like the dog I am, I'm going to try to see if we can get ourselves a future first. And they will give us a future first if we throw in Kobe Brown, and they'll give us Rocco Zakarski in return. We're hitting accept on that. So you might be thinking, well, why didn't you try for Ant-Man? Because I tried and they weren't giving him up. I didn't even try that hard. I just put his name in the trade finder. There were no available offers, and I kind of felt like that was going to be the case. He's a 96 overall. It's just one of those players that we don't have the talent to make that kind of deal for. However, we do make a deal and acquire us a huge improvement at small forward, I think, because Jaden McDaniels. I always have to like double take and make sure I don't call him Jalen McDaniels, but he is an excellent defender, a pretty good 3-point shooter, and he's signed for 3 years. So we don't have to worry about whether or not we bring him back here. And then we acquire another talented center in Naz Reid here that we can slide into the starting role now and let Marvin Bagley Jr. take some minutes off the bench instead. So we'll have a pretty strong bench rotation here, as Malik Beasley and Bones Highland, I'm not going to call him Nahshon, he doesn't want to be called that, but we've got an excellent bench rotation where I think we've got a lot of great shooters, but obviously we are a little bit short-handed at the power or small forward position here. So I'm going to take a look at the roster and see. We might slide like Sam Merrill over to small forward or Max Strus. Oh, wait, Max Strus is small forward. I don't know why I'm saying he's not. He is a small forward, but he's not getting any minutes right now. I think that's fine. We can make this work. Like, Malik Beasley can slide over to small forward if we need him to. So that's going to be the roster here. So Blockbuster trade executed, and we will go ahead and spin and see how many games we have to sim this time. All right, games wheel up, shuffle her up, give her a spin. A lot of trading. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit all the trades we've been making here in the thumbnail, as we will sim a whole 5 games this time, and we will see how our new look roster is performing at the end of 5 games. Okay, so 5 games pass, and looking at everything here, we're actually in really good shape in this 5-game stretch anyway, as this is where this begun. Our first game with our new roster, Naz Reid put up 27, 10, and 2. That's the kind of numbers we were hoping for. Ja 21, 3, and 8, and then Jaden McDaniels 17, 6, and 5. So our new guys contributing heavily in their first appearances, and our most recent game, I think we're really starting to put it together, as Ja had 35, 2, and 8. Jeremiah Fears 37 and 7. 16-10 from Gigi Jackson. Rui was 1 of 5 from 3. It's a rough shooting game for him. But the roster can contribute, and the roster can actually win some basketball games. And the chemistry has taken a notable leap here. So maybe the guys we've got on the roster now can put it together, since they actually like playing together. As we will go ahead and spin the chaos wheel another time here, as we see what we're accomplishing with our roster this time. All right, so we have spun the wheel, and we are trading again, and we're trading for a team's oldest player. All right, so we are acquiring an unk in some sort of fashion. From who, you might ask? Well, let's find out. We'll spin the teams list, and it's going to be the Bucks. Who would be an unk on the Bucks at this point? It's an interesting question that we will have to answer here very soon.
Would you believe me if I told you that Giannis is tied to be the oldest player on this roster?
Not that we are going to try to acquire Giannis. I don't think we have any sort of assets to make that work, and they're not interested in trading him either. But there are a couple of other options. There's Bobby Portis Jr. here, who we can't trade for because he's injured. So Taurean Prince becomes the oldest player, or Gary Harris, I guess. You know, Gary Harris might be the option because he'll probably be the easiest. They don't want an offer for him. How about Taurean Prince? So they'll give us Gary Harris and Taurean Prince for, okay, Nashawn Highland, Bones Highland, no. Okay, AJ Johnson. I mean, although we ideally maybe don't want to get rid of AJ Johnson. I feel like he might develop into a half decent backup guard for us, but let's see what else they'll offer us. Malik Beasley and Bones Highland. I really don't want to give up Bones Highland. That's the thing. Okay, and then they're also offering us Bagley and Zakarski for Gary Harris and Taurean Prince. And I don't know why we would do that necessarily, because we don't have any other centers if we do that. So it would appear the trade finder is letting us down here. So I'm going to manually try to get something through, and I will be right back. Okay. Okay, so there's going to be no commentary over that, because literally would not have expected the Bucks would just agree to that right off the bat. But we just offered up AJ Johnson, a guy who's like the 4th guard down on our shooting guard roster. We really don't need him, although he might develop into something. But we get back, I can't even remember who it is, Gary Harris and a 31 first from the Bucks. Whatever kind of trade. It is done, though. Our roster and our minutes won't change at all, because I know he wasn't getting any minutes. So we're going to go ahead and spin the games wheel. We'll see how long this lasts now. And we'll give her a spin. Yeah, I was not expecting that to be so smooth and easy. We've had a really rough time with trades here recently, as we will sim a whole 9 games, and I will return to you very soon. Okay, so we are here at the contract extension deadline here, and looking at the roster, everyone that we want to keep as far as that is concerned, is still on the roster. Max Strus would resign if he is interested. Wow, that was a little bit Morty-ish. If he will resign. Oh my God. What I was trying to say before I forgot how to speak English completely is, if he wants to sign a minimum, we'll bring him back happily, and he does indeed want to re-sign for a minimum, so we'll bring him back for another year. He's a sharpshooter that we can definitely get some minutes out of, as long as we don't bring in anybody like way more talented, but everybody else is under contract or somebody we're happy to let walk in free agency here, as we still have another 4 games to sim, and we'll just stick here as we'll sim through them. But it has been a little bit tougher as far as winning games in this stretch. We have not had as much success in that sense. This must have been an overtime game, was it not? Oh my God, Ja, 54, 7 and 13. Jesus. We've had a couple of games where we've really put it up. I don't know what's happening, if we just don't have necessarily the talent to win basketball games consistently, but I think we are already almost on pace to be better than we were last season. But it is time for us to spin the chaos wheel one more time. And when I say one more time, I mean, we'll see if it's one more time. We are getting close to the end of the season, so we are going to be starting a player out of position, it looks like. So I will take a look at our coaching game plan here, and we will see who's going to be playing a little bit of wonky of a position here. I will let you take a look for yourself and see if you can figure out who's a little bit out of position here. If you haven't figured it out by now, we have Rui Hachimura playing some shooting guard, as Jaden McDaniels will play small forward and Gigi Jackson will come in and play some power forward. And then we'll let Jeremiah Fears kind of come off the bench for this next stretch of games here. And we will see how many games that will be now, as we will give this wheel a spin. This would definitely be one of those ones that's nice to be a short stretch. Please land on 5. Give me 5. That is perfect. So 5 games. We will see how this look does for our team, and I will be back with you in 5 games. Okay, 5 games have passed, man, and let me tell you, this feels bad. 2 of our centers are out long-term with injuries, as Naz Reid broke his toe in that sim period. So he is out for at least a month, and obviously Yves Missi is missing the whole season. And Marvin Bagley is back in the starting lineup, and he's the only center getting minutes, because he's the only center on the roster at this point, more or less. As we have just a few games left here, we will go ahead and spin the wheel again for what could be the last time this season. I can't believe how this season has gone. I feel like if we're benching our best player. That's lovely. How many games are we benching our best player for now to end the season? We're tanking, even though we don't have our own draft pick this season, so that's great, as we will tank for a full 15 games, and I'm pretty sure, yep, I am sure, we're benching our best player for the rest of the season, and I think that's like a 3-way tie, so I'll have to pick which one I want to bench, but I will be back with you very soon. Okay, so as you can see, I forgot that Ja was a little bit better than our other 2 guys here, but Bones Highland is going to start at point guard for us for the rest of the season, and Ja pulled out the gun in the locker room, I guess.
Look out, he's got a gun!
Because he's benched for the rest of the year. So we're going to act like that's what happened here, as we are going to sim through the rest of the season, and I will catch you at regular season awards. Okay, so what a season from Victor Wembanyama here. A 30, 14, and 5 MVP season, adding 2 steals and 3 blocks on top of it. Good gracious almighty, Mr. Victor. As Darren Peterson wins Rookie of the Year, 15, 4, and 6 as his averages with a steal and a block. KPJ wins 6-man, averaging 15, 4, and 3. And Wemby's your DPOY as well. Hey, Jeremiah Fears wins Most Improved here, as we take a look at his stats from last year compared to this season. Yeah, 10 points a game to 19 a game, I think, is definitely a big bump up here. So we'll absolutely happily celebrate that, as Melo wins Clutch Player of the Year. 31, 5, and 8 from him this season. Pretty pretty damn good. As the Spurs went 64-18, so they win Coach and Executive of the Year. Yeah, take that one in for a second. As we will look at the All-NBA firsts here. Wemby, Giannis, averaging 26, 11, or 12, and 5. Oh, my goodness. His scoring is starting to slow down at 32, but he is still contributing heavily in the playmaking department. As we see Melo, we saw his stats. Luka averaged 28, 7, and 7. Very Luka season. Ant, who we took half of his team from, so he started balling after they left, averaging 33, 5, and 4. And on the second team here, Devin Booker. Oh my God, Devin Booker, 34, 4, and 6. Who are you? He must have had nobody else on the team this year. Jason Tatum averaging 38 and 4. That's a pretty damn good season for him. If we have Tatum averaging 30 points this year, I'd be happy about that. Hallie averaging 25, 3, and 9. Bam, 21, 11, and 3. And Paolo, 27, 7, and 5. And then on the third team, Shea is here at 28, 3, and 6. Yeah, not very, great stats. Man, you look so fried in that picture, Shea. Hey, some love for Ja here, as in his first season in New Orleans, he averages 26, 4, and 8. As Diaper Booty Sengun and the All-NBA third team are a match made in heaven. I feel like I've seen him on the All-NBA third every single time, as he averages 21, 8, and 5. Jalen Green gets some love here, averaging 25, 5, and 4. It's a good season for him. And Scotty averaging 16, 7, and 5. That's my boy right there. As we look at the all-defensive firsts here, oh, Donovan Clingan gets some love. How many blocks was he averaging? 2? Okay. As we see Triple J, Anthony Davis. Yeah, a lot of guys you would expect. Yaxel Lendeborg ends up on the all-rookie first team. Nate Ament, really? 10 points a game as a rookie. Who's El Marco Jackson? El Marco Jackson? That's gotta be racist somehow, right? Hey, it's me. It's El Marco Jackson. That's like when you're 5 years old and you don't know how Spanish works. So you're like, hey, my name's El Marco, when your name's just Mark. Anyway, El Marco Jackson averages 11 and 5 assists. As AJ DeBonsa broke his left kneecap. You got problems with the mob, bro? They coming at you with bats? Damn. So AJ DeBonsa broke his kneecap, so he probably didn't end up playing a ton this year, but while he was playing, 17, 4, and 6 were his stats, so a very solid start. And on the All-NBA second here, nobody that we really need to care about. We are not in the playoffs this year. Who would have thought? We were in the play-in? No, I didn't realize we were in the play-in. Oh, well. We didn't end up winning in the play-in. We got our asses handed to us by the Rockets. We probably would have simcasted that game if I had realized. I thought at 35 and 47, which was our final record this year, I thought at 35 and 47 we wouldn't be in, but I guess it was just barely good enough to make the play-in, as the West was very weak this season, it would appear. But we will now watch the rest of the playoffs here, as we'll sim this first round, because no one cares about the first round, right? I do. I love first-round basketball. I honestly think sometimes the first round of the playoffs is the most intense round, because that's when the energy is the highest and the most energy is left in the tank for the players. As we'll go ahead and see if there's any close series here in the quarterfinals. The Mavs sweep the T-Wolves. Yeah, the Mavs with Zion and Cooper Flag might be a problem, as Cooper Flag, bro, what were you doing? 5, 5, and 5? Anyway, we will go ahead and continue simming as Atlanta gets through to the conference finals. That's surprising, as Detroit will join them. And I am shocked. So the Suns, led by Jalen Green and I see what's going on here. What's his injury? What is it? Right knee tendonitis? No, that's not right. How many games did you play this season? He played just barely enough to be eligible. But in 65 games, holy cow, Devin Booker. But it looks like he is out for the conference finals with right knee tendonitis. So the Suns will be sorely missing him here in this series against the Mavs, as we'll go ahead and begin simming. Will we have a conference final matchup worth watching here? The Pistons sweep the Hawks here. Cade and the boys are doing their thing against, is that D. Russ at 31 leading the way for the Hawks? Trey Murphy is an Atlanta Hawk. That's right, we traded him away a couple seasons ago. Oh wait, no, last season. I was getting thrown off by the playoffs thing here, yeah. As D. Russ, Trey Murphy, and Jalen Johnson cannot come up strong here. As we will see if the Suns and the Mavs series gets any better. But man, we're just gonna watch Zion win a championship after we had to trade him away, right? Is that what we're about to watch here? As it is a Pistons Mavs finals. It's Cade, Asar Thompson, Ron Holland, Jalen Duren versus Kyrie, Jaden Ivey. We're going to ignore him. Cooper Flagg, Zion, and Derek Lively. That lineup is filth, dude. Okay, so we're back out here in the menu, and we're going to go ahead and sim game 1 as the Mavs win. Game 2 as the Pistons finally win one. Okay, I'm a Pistons fan right now. I do not want the Mavs to win a title with my best player, as we are going to have a Game 7. All right, so we're going to hop in here to the Simcast. Do we have it coming down to the wire? No, we have a 13 or 23 point. Oh my God, no way. So the Mavs with Zion, my best player, winning. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, pain. It's like I've made another super team, but it's not my own team, as we finished 35 and 47. Yeah, well, it's not my fault. We can't stay in the green, as we're going to have to take 2 points away from something. Once again, we'll take 2 points away from the luxury amenities. We don't need them, and we will move on. Oh, I guess James Harden was on the Warriors, not the not the Cavs anymore, but we see him retire along with quite a few other players. I don't think we will be seeing any Hall of Fame inductees aside from him, though, as he'll get his jersey retired in Houston. Make sure none of the weird lottery rules or weird league meeting rules change. As we take a look here at the pick options, so it would appear that we do not have any picks inside of the... Oh, we do have the 11th best odds to move up here, as the Grizzlies have a few picks here inside the top 14, and so do the Bulls. They have a Trailblazers pick, so I mean, we'll hop in here and watch. I'm assuming we are going to get stuck with the 11th pick here, which, all things considered, we can't complain about, right? I mean, the 11th pick is definitely something that we can find a player who can contribute. Wouldn't it be nice if this is like the one time our pick moves up, as, oh, I guess, oh, we had swap rights to move up, as we have, the swap rights always confuse me. We had the swap rights with the Hawks, and we get to move up to the 10th pick because of that. So we can go ahead and skip the rest of the lottery now, as we will see the Grizzlies, 76ers, and Bulls have the top 3 picks here. The Kings, the Rockets will pick behind them, then the Thunder, and then it's Wizards, Bulls, Grizzlies again. So the Grizzlies have 1 and 8, and the Bulls have 3 and 9. Those are pretty hefty picks to have. So I think we only have the one draft pick. So if I go here to propose a trade, yeah, I have 1 pick. I have the 10th pick. There is an effect where we have to trade away our entire draft. I have landed on it, I swear, in the last 3 videos. So it would be really nice if we didn't have to do that. But it is time for us to spin the draft chaos wheel and let us see what we are going to be accomplishing. Here she is, our draft chaos wheel. Now, the draft chaos wheel, we haven't added that many effects to, but of course, like before, if you have any ideas, I'm always happy to add them. But we are going to shuffle her up. We are going to give it a spin. What are we doing in this draft? There's no way, no, we have to draft a bust. So what that means is that despite the fact that at 10, There will probably be plenty of players, as you can see, plenty of players here with A- potential. We're going to have to draft someone who does not have great potential. So we're going to hop in here to the draft as the Grizzlies will get the best player, who was an 82 overall. The Pacers are going to come up and grab number 2, trade away Pascal Siakam and Jackson Hayes, and get a couple of firsts in return, as they'll draft a power forward to replace Pascal. And then, okay, so the Bulls are acquiring some talent here, as they will get Jamal Murray and Christian Braun for this 3rd overall pick. The Nuggets will take Thiago Serrano, and the Kings will take Rod Dunleavy Jr. Okay, that's the Rockets pick. And the Clippers are coming up to this OKC pick, as they'll acquire Anthony Simons and Precious Achiuwa, as Bernie Murphy goes at 7, Dennis Terrell at 8, Will Madsen at 9 to the Grizzlies. And with that, we have our pick. So we can't take any of these guys. I wouldn't even say we could take a guy with B+ potential. We're looking at one of these guys right here. Oh, this sucks. This sucks. I mean, we don't really need any help at... Yeah, we're just going to draft David Evans here, and we're going to sim to the end. So yeah, that blows. We could have had a much better player there at that pick, but the wheel decides that that's not for us this year, as we will sign him to a contract. We're going to let Dennis Schroeder walk, and we'll pick up the options on Jeremiah Fears and Yves Missi. And I'm cool letting Rocco Zakarski walk in free agency. And with that, we do arrive in free agency. We'll go ahead and go to our cap holds and make sure we get rid of all of the ones we are no longer interested in holding on to here. We're still in the red. Now, I think that is mostly because we ended up making that trade that put a lot of talent on our roster long-term. Jaden McDaniels here, Naz Reid, they're making some pretty big money. But aside from those 3, like, I felt like we should still have a little bit of money. 18, we're 160 mil. There's no way that that's our... All right, well, I guess it is, because we don't have the money for anything here. I mean, and honestly, our roster is pretty full. We're not necessarily in a position where we need to go out and we need to sign a starter quality player right away. Our power forward and center positions are definitely points of emphasis as far as something we need, but oh boy, let me go sign Derek Lively. That's all. Or we can't even sign him because he's restricted. We don't have anybody in this. I can't believe Josh Hart is playing power forward. That doesn't make any sense. We don't have anybody sitting here where this is the guy. This is the person we need on our roster that's going to solve all of our problems. I mean, we could definitely probably use a backup shooting guard. I think that's someone we'll definitely go after here. But aside from that, what could we possibly need? Oh, do we go after 6th man of the year, Keldon Johnson? That's the move, right? Ooh, Deuce McBride is here. He's an insane defender and a great shooter. I'll throw you an offer, Deuce McBride. Shout out Deuce McBride, my WVU legend. Go Mountaineers. He's coming to New Orleans. That's a great signing. I'm actually very happy to bring Miles McBride to New Orleans. We really need a lot of defense, I think, what we are lacking. As you can see, we do not have great defenders at small forward outside of Jaden McDaniels, and then our defense on the front court side is very weak. Naz Reid's all right, but we're just kind of missing that right now. So once Yves Missi comes back, and once we get into next season, I think that'll make a huge difference. But that's kind of the only signing we're going to make this year, as, okay, Jaden McDaniels gets a little worse, so does Rui, Naz Reid, Miles McBride. So a lot of guys getting a little bit worse. Max Strus being a 76 overall means that we probably need to make an upgrade at small forward sooner than later. But with that, we can head on into the beginning of next season and the end of episode 2 here as we try to bring a title to this team. It's not easy to get it done here. This season, the wheel was particularly tough. It kind of tore apart our team and forced us to make a lot of changes on the fly, which is kind of what it's all about. It kind of forces us to be creative, and we kind of love that. So we will go into next season with this being our roster, and I think this is a roster that can compete. I definitely think there's opportunities for us to get better, but we just have to find some improvement, unfortunately. So with that being said, that is the end of today's episode. So if you did enjoy, please leave a like below, comment, and subscribe to help our channel continue to grow and reach more people. And I will hope to catch you all in another episode here very, very soon. Take care.